Hey YouTube, thought I'd share this video with you guys. I got this new battery box that I built, and it's not really a computer, but it's tech stuff. It's related, so I figured I'd upload a video for you and show you what I came up with. The whole reason I got into doing this battery box thing is I wanted something that I could take out and about when I'm in the field working on stuff, or just out camping and whatnot, and I needed power. I need to power my phone. Everything runs on technology these days, so you need power for just about everything. Um, so I wanted something that was relatively lightweight, quickly portable, and had decent amount of power. And you can buy things like this off of Amazon and whatnot, but most of them are pretty cheaply made. They don't have a whole lot of power density, and I wanted something a little bigger. Um, Big thanks to Matt Lasak. I'll put his YouTube channel up here. And he's the one who I originally got this idea from. I was watching his videos, and he has something very similar. His is made out of from an ammo can, but I wanted something a little bit more powerful. But it was his idea and the way he did it that really gave me the insight on what to do and how to go about it. So I just wanted to give you guys an overview of what I did and the parts that I used. I'll try to get as many links in the description for you, so if you did want to repeat what I did, you can. One forewarning is this is relatively very expensive because I'll open it up and show you, I used a lithium iron phosphate design battery. So you could build the same thing actually with a standard lead acid battery. It's a lot like a lawnmower battery or something. That's basically what this is, except that it's made with the new lithium iron phosphate technology, sometimes called LFP. So the advantages of lithium iron phosphate is that you get a lot more energy density. So this battery weighs only about 12 pounds, whereas its lead acid counterpart would be about 25, 30 pounds. So this is a lot lighter, which is great for a portable box like this. And the charge cycles on this battery, it will last probably a decade or more, whereas a lead acid would only last maybe 2 years, maybe 3 if you took good care of it. So that's kind of the heart and soul of the battery box. Everything else I just kind of picked out whatever looked good and whatever is cheap and threw it in there. So the other big thing is this big black box here. This is a solar charge controller. So I have the option to plug in a solar panel here on the side with an Anderson power pole, and that allows me to use this big old folding solar panel over here, and I can plug it in, stick it under the sun, and get free energy. So that's great when you're out, say you're camping or you're just away from power in general. You can literally run this thing pretty much indefinitely. That big panel there will charge this box from dead in about 4, maybe 5 hours of good sunlight because of this charge controller. So more on the actual box itself. If we look here on the front, you can see it's actually just a Craftsman toolbox, and I cut out the middle and I stuck this little energy meter here in. I've cut out a bunch of slots for switches. These are just little marine grade switches. They're supposed to light up. I took out the LEDs, or I didn't hook them up because it's just extra power draw, and with a battery that you want, maximum runtime on, you want to eliminate as many power draw things as you can. This is the solar charge controller, so if I flip that on, you'll see some of the lights come on there, and it boots up. It's got a little computer in it that does all the calculations. This is for the power meter. I pretty much leave that on all the time because you always want the power meter running as it logs your energy consumption. This switch flips on this 12 volt lead acid, or not lead acid, this 12 volt cigarette lighter plug, and this switch does the USB. So this is one of the main things that I wanted, was to be able to charge my phone, and a lot of the electronics that I have charge off of USB. So this was a big thing for me. And then over here on this side is another big part, an output Anderson power pole, which I can plug in this inverter that I got. It's just 300 watt. It's pure sine wave, so it's nice clean energy. It's even got the nice outlet on it. So that just plugs right in here. These are 40 amp rated Anderson power poles, and that pops in. I can flip the switch on and have household output power, or of course I can just use my USB plug or use one of these things in the cigarette lighter adapter and get more USB ports. So lots of USB power potential there. I normally just keep these in here. And you can charge pretty much anything, run most small electronics through that inverter, and charge it off of solar. So inside the box, you have the battery itself, the shunt for the energy meters. Down here I have an 80 amp fuse coming off the positive terminal. Here I have a 300 amp, which is totally overkill for this, power switch, which just switches on and off for these Anderson poles. And then that's pretty much everything on the inside. I have all the outputs here individually fused. So I think this is like a 10 amp fuse, and then that's a 15 amp fuse. They're just inline maxi fuses here that you can, they're just wires and you just put a fuse inside of it like that. So that's all there is in that, and that makes it all safe. I wanted it to be safe, and that's one of the reasons that I put all the silicone around here, was to try and keep water out of the sensitive electronics. And then on the back, so I'll go ahead and close it up here, there's another energy meter. And this one's just for the solar. So this will show me, it's the same thing as the front, but this one shows the energy going in instead of out from the battery. So that I plug in my solar panel, I can see, how much current and overall how much energy has been put into the battery. So right now it says 3 watt hours. I just kind of topped it off here recently. You can reset those stats by pressing and holding this button here. Sorry about my camera, it doesn't like to focus very well, but same thing with the front. Shows you your energy consumption overall with the watt hours, and you can reset it every time you recharge it, and it works really well. So I think that's it. Box, inverter, solar panels. I'll put as many links as I can, like I said. It was kind of a pain to build it because I had to cut out everything to get the stuff in here, and it's very hard plastic. So if you had like a Dremel or I don't know, a jigsaw or something, it'd be a lot easier. I actually did it all by just pocket knife. So it was very difficult, but if you have the right tools, this is actually not too difficult. You just got to cut out the holes, snap the switches in place, put a little silicone on it, and then actually for the battery, I don't want to pull it out, but on the battery all I have is a couple strips of Velcro, and that's all that holds the battery in place. It does a pretty good job. Since the battery isn't very heavy, it doesn't have a good tendency to move. So let me know what you think. If you want to see more or want to know anything else, just give me a message or a comment and I'll try and get back to you.